Hello and welcome to this tutorial about creating content, your first 9 posts. This is an exciting module for you to begin as you're launching your business and creating your first pieces of content online in your platforms that you've chosen, and specifically with your social media platforms. And what we'd love to teach you here is the best way to start with 9 posts. So ideally, this would be doing 3 posts across 3 days. So 3 posts on a Monday, for example, 3 on a Tuesday, 3 on a Wednesday. You can choose whichever days of the week, obviously, you'd like, but consecutively posting for 3 times a day for the first 3 days is going to really give your social media a little bit of a boost and sort of a shock to the system almost, where you're showing up to your audience and the network that you already have, and you're showing up with a new presence, showing up with some conviction and confidence and some authority around the shift you've made in how you're going to continue using your social media and your platforms to now launch your business. We've created this guide for you that you'll be able to download from within this module to support you to launch your business and start seasoning both your personal pages and potentially your business pages, so that you have a business page set up in Facebook, for example, that is ready and, raring to go with lots of content if you then decide that you're ready to start building your business with ads. So the idea behind this module is that we teach you how to increase your presence, how to increase your confidence with how you want to start writing, what sort of things you want to start sharing in your social media, and to really get your content seen by more people and to boost your algorithms. Because the more people that see your content, the more conversations you will have, the more engagement you will have. And then from conversations, you can obviously start to ascertain from people what their problems are and see if what you have is the solution they're looking for, which we all know is such an incredible opportunity, right? So here with your first 9 posts, you're going to really start to show up in a new way that maybe your audience hasn't seen before. And we're going to utilize the local network that you actually already have in your social media. So maybe in the beginning, you don't quite know what to share, or you might be feeling a little bit of overwhelm about how to start your business and what do you start to talk about. So we've created this guide for you to encourage your first 9 posts to help you launch your business and to change your narrative in your social media. So it allows people to actually get to know you a little bit better. You can show up and share in such a way that you're giving value, that you're showing some vulnerability, that you're showing some insight into who you are as a person, what your values are, what you're here to serve with. And so this guide is to support you with that. You can take inspiration from these suggestions in here. So by no means do you have to use the words in this document exactly as they're laid out, but it might inspire you as to a way you can show up and share something very similar that is very authentic and true to you and your self-expression and what you want to share in your social media. So it's really designed to spark your own creativity and to give you a guide around what you can use as ideas for posts. Now, with these posts, we're thinking about at the moment really Instagram and Facebook, for example, but you can actually get very creative with these posts. You can do short static posts on Instagram, for example. You could do longer form written posts on Facebook. You can do reels, little live videos of yourself, like live recordings. You could do pre-recorded interviews or sessions or little chats to the camera. So there's lots of ways that you can utilize these first 9 posts. They by all means do not have to be the set same way. Having said that, you might decide in the beginning to stay where you are comfortable and just get a bit more confident and a bit more practice around what you're sharing, but also be invited to step into somewhere where you might feel a little bit stretched. So if you're nervous to go live, maybe that's the calling for you to actually show up and see how that feels and how exciting it can be when you've actually got people listening to you. It can be a lot more fun than actually just talking to a camera with no one on the other end. So have a play with this guide, have a play with where you feel stretched, where you feel challenged, where you feel excited to be. And the idea around your content is to really show that you're having fun, show that this is a part of you, that you're proud of it, you're embracing this, and this is exciting. So, for example, with your first 9 posts, let's take a look through this guide. you could do an introduction and welcome post. So this would be something where you're sharing about who you are. And, you could be like, I've decided to do something exciting. Let me reintroduce myself to you. I'd like to share the 3 to 5 things that, you want them to know about you. You could do a post that's fun, that shares 10 things that they may not know about you. Sometimes you could throw in like a fake fact and get them to guess which one's true and which one's false. So that can be a fun way to sort of reintroduce yourself. And especially for people that are coming across your content, once you start getting seen by more accounts, then people will want to know a bit about you, or people that have been following you for a while might want to know something that they didn't know before. So this is a really good way to do your first post as like a little reintroduction about you. For post 2, we recommend that you're doing something of value. So you're giving value to the audience watching you. So for example, you might share what your millionaire morning ritual is, because now you have seen within the academy that you could be doing your millionaire morning rituals with your vibe boosters, for example, your magical script, your future pacing, your journaling. Do you meditate in the morning? Do you have your glass of, or your first liter of Kangen in the morning first thing? What is it that you do in your morning that gives you a ritual that's put you on a path with people who have created so much success? So many millionaires and so many successful people that we speak to and that we've read their incredible books about have a really strong morning ritual that is non-negotiable for them. It carves out that space in the day to set themselves up for success. So can you share about this? A lot of people watching you, despite the fact you are new in this realm and this business, for example, they will be looking to you to lead the way. So they will be looking to you and be inspired by something like this. So you could share something of value around that. What are your morning habits that set you up for success? You could do 3 tips too, and then make it relatable to your life, your business, your niche, the people that are watching you. So for example, mums or dads might be, 3 tips to surviving the school run. You could make that quite fun. 3 tips to creating more freedom in your life. Are there some affirmations and mantras that you could share with people? 3 mantras that really changed my life, or 3 mantras that I guarantee will change your life forever. So you're getting a really exciting hook into your message that people want to learn from you and receive some value from what you can share. So what are you an expert in? What have you been through? What have you grown through? What can you offer some insight to? Have a bit of fun with that and share some value. Then in post 3, we invite you to create a post or a reel or a video. Share your story. So where were you and where are you now? So we call that your origin story. And what you're trying to deliver with a story like that is the journey. So for example, I was a burnt out mom, unsure of my identity, wasn't sure what I was going to do to fulfill my own purpose in life. And so I found this opportunity. And since then, I have gone on to achieve so much more confidence, so much more purpose in my life. I feel excited when I wake up. I feel inspired and empowered as a mama. I balance life and business being a mom, and I'm really excited about this new era of lifestyle and business. So you're showing where you were to where you are now, because it invites somebody else to resonate and relate to you, so they feel that they can too do the same and will want to reach out to you and ask you more. Well, how did you do it? Tell me more. So that can be your origin story. For post 4, we would suggest doing an engagement style status post. So you can do these quite easily on Canva. You could do a really nice photo with a statement over the top, or you could do a plain block with a quote or engagement status on there. And on Facebook, this would be one of those color block posts that you do at the top of your feed, where you've just got a question on there and no photo or picture or anything, but you're using those color blocks. So, for example, to create some more engagement in your newsfeed, you can ask an intriguing question. You could ask a quiz question. You could do something really controversial if you're brave and you have a really strong standpoint on something and want to invite debate and people to question your perspective or to connect with you about something. So, for example, you could keep it very simple, summer or winter. What's your favorite? What side of the bed do you sleep on? Samsung v iPhone, like that always gets a lot of comments. And the idea here is that you get so many comments that you're boosting your algorithm and you're boosting your news feed to the top of other people's feeds. So just as a reminder here, when you're creating engagement on Facebook or on Instagram or your social media platforms that you're using, the idea is that the more you engage with people and the more people engage with you, Facebook and Instagram will reward you with socializing and being social on social media by putting your posts to the top of other people's news feeds that may relate to your content. So the more you engage, the more you get seen. So it's a top tip to be engaging with other people's accounts and friends and people you admire and aspire to follow or to work with, that you engage on their content before you then post your own. So you're really showing that you're showing up and utilizing the platforms as they were designed to be used. So they're really good for engagement. You can do those. Your next post is going to be something a little bit more in depth about you, and you're also offering value here as well, but you're going to be talking about personal development. So with that, for example, now that you're in the personal development world alongside business, you could write something about your new recent discovery of this, or why you love personal development. Maybe you could share the favorite book you're reading at the moment. And in that way, when you create some conversation around that, you are also leading back to why you're reading that, and you can share some value around, what it is that you've invested in, what has changed your life since this particular book, for example. For example, if you're reading The Magic and you're implementing everything, what can you share with your audience about why you're reading that and what it's done for you in your life and why you highly recommend it, for example. You could then obviously, based on the comments you get back from that, you've then got some more content in the future where you can share your value and your takeaways from that book. So you're taking your audience again on the journey with you as to what has transpired from you reading that book. So it's giving you more content later on down the line as well. And it gives you something you can regularly share about, because you're going to continually be investing in your personal development. You can even write a post about why you choose to invest in yourself. Why is that important for you? For example, did you know that it's 80% inner work with 20% strategy to be successful in this day and age? And this is why, and this is how we do it. The new era of business, where you invest and you nourish and you nurture yourself in order to craft your success. Post 6, we invite you to do a conversation starter. So you'll see a lot of these posts are quite similar, and they're very simple and they're very true to you. So have a conversation with someone. Like, what would you like to have a conversation with someone about? And pop it in there. So for example, if you're watching something profound at the moment on Gaia or something, for example, the Secret of Water, what is it that you're watching and learning, and why is that inspiring to you? And then ask somebody else, what's your favorite documentary? This is what I'm watching now. And then you're opening up the opportunity and the floor for your audience to have a conversation with you. And of course, there are so many hundreds of versions of what you could start a conversation around. So you get to be really creative with that. But again, the idea is that you then got a lot of comments under that post to then go and engage with, to like them, to have a conversation back. And the more that the algorithm sees you doing that and engaging, the higher up your posts will be shown. And that's your goal. As well as having conversations with people is the first start of actually building an audience and building your team and your business. Okay, so for post 7, we can do a bit more about getting to know who you are. So you can share something more in-depth and insightful about you. So for example, if you know what your human design profile is, or you are interested in your zodiac sign, or anything like that, you could actually ask the question. For example, you could say, I'm a generator in human design. Do you know what type you are? You could do a whole post about what that means and that you're excited to dive deeper into it. What type of personality are you? And then ask your audience, do you know what personality type you are? Are you attached to a particular colour, for example? Did you know what you wanted to be when you were younger? I wanted to, and then blah, blah, blah. You share more about you. So here you're sharing about yourself, but you're also opening up something that's going to inspire people. It's going to give value. It's going to give insight about who you are. And there you're going to find like-minded people that you relate to. And so then the network begins. And you'll start to be seen by more accounts that hopefully are like-minded to yourself. Post 8 This is where we want to get a little bit more of an emotional connection. So this could be something, for example, about, your feelings right now as you're launching your business. When was the last time you felt excited or scared or nervous? And you can break that up into a series of posts. You don't have to do it all at once, but you could share a little bit about how you feel right now. Expand on it for your audience and share your best tips on how you're dealing with it. You should really, if you're starting your business by now, I'd imagine you felt scared, excited, and nervous all at once. Why was that? What did out of that conversation or that post would your audience find value in? How could you share that you're overcoming some of the objections that people have when they first start a business like this? And how did you overcome that? What made you take the leap? Why were you so excited? How did you overcome the fear of investing in yourself in this way? And, what trajectory and what path are you on right now that has you excited? So this is a really good way for people to connect with you, to learn alongside you, to feel the emotional aspect of your presence online and get to know you as a real person. Remembering that people don't buy your products. They really do buy from you. And that's why we have such a profound business model, because the more you share in a personal brand online, the more people get to know who you are. And it's you that people will relate to and connect to above somebody else, because nobody else can be your personal brand, right? And you don't need to hide behind your product or service, but you get to show up authentically as who you are. So you get to be brave with this and start showing up potentially in a way you haven't before. And I'd invite you to have a little bit of fun with that and get excited about really showing people the shifts and the journeys that you're going on and what you're learning. And then post 9 is more about you. So this is where you can have a little bit of fun, share your dreams, share what your ideal life looks like, ask people what theirs looks like, what are you inspired to do in life? What sort of post could you do to have a bit of fun about you? Very similar to getting to know you post, but you're bringing it back again to being able to give people an insight into who you are and why they would like to continue following your content, So don't forget to have fun with these. And then just scrolling down, we've got some more examples and ideas for you. Fun facts you can share about you. What is your bucket list? What are you planning on doing over the next 12 months? You can share quotes. Quotes are really great filler posts. So when you're not really sure what you want to share, or you're not feeling particularly inspired on a day, you could have some really great quotes that you align to, that you use in your daily life, that you always refer back to, and you can pop those up, and people find these really profound and inspiring, and quotes often get a lot of shares. So for example, as I'm scrolling on Instagram, if I love a quote that I see, I often share that to my stories. So the idea to be getting people to share, to save, or to comment on your content. And be aware of what's happening in your content. Keep a little log of what's successful. What are your audience loving? What posts get the most likes? What posts get the most engagement? Because that's research. That's audience research around what your audience loves to hear from you. And so you then get to give them more of that. So we've got some vulnerability ideas here, what's happening in your world right now. You can do stuff here that's quite controversial, if you like, that might share what your stance is on something that's going on in the world right now. And it's okay to polarize. So, for example, if someone thinks, well, I don't agree with that, then you're either going to have a healthy debate or they're going to stop following you, which saves you from having to find space for people that do want to hear what you want to say, right? What is going on in your world right now, like give some more insight as to what you're navigating and allow people to see what you're going through so that they also feel a connection to you and they can relate. More than ever, people are looking to not feel alone. They're looking to understand that people are going through and feeling what they're feeling. And so that's a really powerful way to create an audience of people that really resonate with who you are as a person. You can share a trip down memory lane. I've had some really fun ones. There's a couple of groups recently where they're sharing like 1980s toys and sweets, and it's bringing up so many amazing memories for people and causing so much engagement in social media because everybody's got their favorite 1980s song, for example, like what song did you used to sing to your hairbrush when you were 15 or whatever it is, you can have a lot of fun with engagement posts like that. And it can really spark off some interesting relationships with people and conversations with people, and bring out a lot of new people that maybe you haven't connected with in your content before. You can share things that are current right now. The cost of living is going up. How is your audience prepared for that? Are they prepared for that? What are they doing to combat the cost of living rising at the moment? Because that sort of conversation is going to lead to what you have found, and the fact that you have an ability to create some sustainability and security in your life in the times that we're living in right now. So that's a really good way to actually spark a powerful conversation that leads back to your business. And then some other ideas here, what would you spend $10,000 on if I were to give it to you? That gives you an insight into your audience, what excites them, what motivates them. A lot of people will share that type of thing very honestly and emotionally driven. If you were to just suddenly have $10,000, you're going to react probably with doing something fun with it. And so then you get to know a bit more about your audience, and then you get to lead the conversation around money. What's the best advice you've ever been given in life or business? This is a way for you to show that you're willing and open to learning from your audience as well, and that you journey together. And, it's an opportunity for you to then go on and share the best advice you've been given. Another powerful topic is for people to see the difference between an investment and an expense, and do they understand the difference between the two? This is a powerful one because you're handling objections here in some of these posts. And what I mean by that is, when you come to investing in something, and maybe you felt this when you invested into this business, you had some trepidation potentially, and did you think this is too expensive until you reconsidered what you can get for your investment? Did you understand the difference between the fact that you were investing in a huge business and a huge opportunity, and the ability to set yourself on a path towards legacy, as opposed to paying something of high value? Can you share about the profit that you can get back from investing in high ticket? So you've got a lot of opportunities here to cover the objections that people feel when it comes to actually diving deeper into the business conversations. So you've already covered a lot of things in your content around, answering things for people and alleviating their fears. So you get to really be very prepared in your content. You get to have fun. You get to share a lot about you, about your business, and about your audience as well. So there's so much you get from creating really powerful content, and to be a good copywriter in this business will really set you on a very strong path. So these are the ideas for your first 9 posts, and I'm going to jump over and just share a couple of options for you in Canva.